Stand by for Grey Matters Extra. And if you ever needed proof that we were being ripped off by the energy industry, well, we've got it. Thanks to a new report from the End Fuel Poverty Coalition. Welcome to Grey Matters. Hello and welcome to Grey Matters, the channel that promotes the fact that the older generation still matters and still has relevance, and which looks at issues that matter to the older generation. Well, first of all, regular viewers will know that we were toying with the idea of launching a sibling channel called UK Matters. And that would look at the wider political and social issues that affect all of us, and not just issues that affect us old uns. But instead of launching a second channel, we're heading in a different direction. Now, YouTube is very keen for us to start including memberships for our channel, whereby those viewers who choose to become members will get extra content for a monthly fee. Of course, YouTube is keen on that because as we are pushing on 40,000 subscribers, they would make some money off the back of it, as indeed would we. However, we feel that for our channel, which is trying to support the older generation through these shockingly difficult times when our lifestyle and finances are under constant attack, charging a membership fee for extra content would be totally wrong. That said, when we were seeking opinions from our subscribers about a second channel, there was a lot of support for it. And we don't really want to deny our subscribers that type of content. So we've decided, rather than introduce an extra channel, we're going to introduce extra content instead, which, rather than being tucked behind a membership paywall, will be freely accessible to everyone as an extension to Grey Matters. Appropriately, it will be called Grey Matters Extra, and it will contain the same sort of content that the UK Matters channel would have carried, in other words, wider social and political commentary. And the intention is to include occasional additions of Grey Matters Extra, or GM Extra, between our normal Grey Matters programmes. And the frequency of them will remain the same, about every 2 weeks or thereabouts. Now, the branding will still be Grey Matters, but the GM Extra editions will be clearly marked, so if your interest is purely for our usual content, you can just skip those programmes if you want to and wait for the next normal edition of Grey Matters. It's purely a way to give our subscribers and casual viewers some more varied content. So how about that, Nim? Clear as mud? Well, yeah, with me, that wouldn't be unusual. But let us know what you think in the comments. It will be going ahead anyway, at least on a trial basis. Next, the Great Energy Rip-Off. Now, researchers working for the End Fuel Poverty Coalition has examined the declared profits of firms ranging from energy producers such as Equinor and Shell, through to the firms that control our energy and the energy grid, such as National Grid and UK Power Networks, and our suppliers, such as British Gas. Now this week, that's the week commencing the 30th of March 2025, as energy prices increased by 6.4% for households across the country, the analysis has shown that the energy industry profits have hit, wait for this, £500 billion. Yeah, you heard that right, £500 billion. Now, almost half of the total profits since 2020, and that's 207 billion, are generated by firms with extensive involvement in the gas industry. And this, whilst we are faced with the cost of every single unit of gas used increasing by more than 10% from today, that's the 1st of April 2025. But it gets worse. Under energy market rules, the cost of gas directly affects the cost of electricity, and that's for at least 40% of the time. Now, to me, this makes no sense, particularly when you consider that energy suppliers are increasing the amount of green energy they produce, with some suppliers relying on renewable energy alone. Cheap renewable energy, you would think, would bring prices down, but it's notoriously expensive on the wholesale market. Why should that be? Now, bizarrely, the system that the industry uses sets the wholesale price of electricity by the most expensive method needed to meet demand, which usually means it's gas. So your standing charges, they usually go to the network companies that cover the transmission costs. In other words, maintaining the pipes and cables, etc. But you know, Citizens Advice discovered that vital grid improvements have been underspent by almost £1 billion. Right? Let's just say that again. Citizens Advice discovered that vital grid improvements have been underspent by almost £1 billion. Yet the network companies pocketed an estimated £4 billion in extra profits. Maria Carvalho from MedAct, which represents frontline health workers, has commented that record-breaking profits of energy giants come at an unbearable cost to public health. Cold homes cause illness and drive patients into already overwhelmed NHS services, whilst energy debt traps families in a cycle of financial and mental distress. Did you notice that Freudian slip? I said energy death. And we know what's been happening in winter and winter deaths, don't we? Although we're still waiting for the figures. Now, she also says that every pound pocketed by these corporations is a pound that could have kept someone warm, well, and out of hospital. The government must act now to rein in energy profiteering. Yes, absolutely right. I doubt the government will do anything about it because, well, at the risk of being arrested for being unkind to MPs, it might affect the price of all the energy shares they own. And a quick caveat, please don't arrest me, I'm just a poor pensioner. Fuel Poverty Action is calling for radical reform, and a spokesman for Warm this winter has called the situation shameful, adding that while people are struggling with awful April, the energy profiteers are celebrating awesome April. Now, I know there have been calls for a number of years to separate gas and electricity from the wholesale cost calculations, but nothing has happened, and I doubt it will, not while it's providing big bonuses and no doubt warm, comfy living rooms for those in charge. I realise they need to make profits. I mean, no one expects them not to. They have to invest in new technology and expand the networks, etc. But to make nearly £500 billion in profits, pass out huge bonuses to the executives and shareholders, whilst pensioners and others on low incomes have been left shivering and scared to death as to how they'll be able to afford the latest price hikes, it is utterly deplorable. Well, I'm grateful to the National Pensions Convention for drawing my attention to this scandal. It's something we're definitely going to be following with interest. I mean, how have you coped this winter? How will you cope with the planned energy price hikes? Did you manage to nab yourself a good fixed price deal at a good rate? I hope so. Also, which energy supplier are you with, and are you satisfied with them? Do let us know all this in the comments, because we'd like to know how you're coping, seriously. And if you like our content, then please give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, then please do so and hit that bell to be notified when our future editions drop. And don't forget to keep your eyes out for our GM Extra editions too. So until the next time, thank you so much for joining us. See what the next scandal is. Until the next time, is bye for now.